I make soybean / tofu curry. So I have about 4 tofus here, and I cut it into this little kind of like a rectangle pieces. Now I'm going to like lightly fry them, and for that I have used 1 teaspoon oil in a pan, and I'm going to do it in low heat for like about 10 to 15 minutes until they're brown on both sides. So I'm just going to fry this, and then I'm going to cook this with potatoes and peas and spices. So let me fry this first. Now that our tofu is sauteed little bit, so I made it brown in very low heat, covering up. Now I'm roasting little bit of cumin seed in half a teaspoon oil, and to that I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons onion, ginger, garlic paste, and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and little bit cilantro. To this, I'm going to add all the spices. I'm going to add some salt, little bit of turmeric, a little bit of chana masala, and little bit of cumin powder. And this one I'm going to add little bit of garam masala. I'm going to cook this one about 5 minutes, cover, and then I will mix other things. Now I'm going to add all my fried tofu in there. And to this I will add my green peas and 2 potatoes cut and boiled. I'm going to mix all this together and add about 1.5 cup of water. I'm going to cook it like 5 minutes, then I'll add the water. So as you see, our tofu curry is ready, and I'm going to give you a picture. As you see, my tofu curry is done, and it's really yummy. I'm going to talk about how I make potato and peas curry. So this is very simple potato and peas curry, and let me show you how I make it. So as usual, starting with the heating up the pan, and to that I'll be using about 1 teaspoon oil. I would try to use as little oil as possible, because we really don't need so much oil to cook. We just need little bit oil so that our food does not get stuck to the pan. Otherwise, in case I'm doing a video on deep frying or something, which will be very rare, then I will be using more oil. Besides that, I will be just using half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon. Even this one I use like a half a teaspoon oil. That even seems too much. So to this I'm going to be using about half a teaspoon cumin seed and little bit asafoetida. So as our cumin seed and asafoetida are getting heated up, I'm going to make sure this is crunchy and gives a nice smell before we put anything in it. So now this seems crunchy. Now if you want to put tomato, you can put tomato at this point, but I'm not going to use tomato for this cooking these potatoes and peas. Usually when you add tomato to any cooking, any preparation, that vegetable cooking or anything does not last very long. If you add tomato, it will be lasting a couple of days, but if you want it to last for a week, then it's better just to cook it without the tomato, and before you serve it, you can make some fresh tomato sauce or chutney. So now that it is roasted properly, to this I'm going to use my potatoes. Now my potatoes has little bit of water, so I'm just going to drain the water and use the potatoes, and then later I'll put some water. So right now I will be just using the potato just without the water. So to this I'm going to use turmeric, about half a teaspoon, salt about little bit, like half a teaspoon, and I'm going to use chana masala, about half a teaspoon, with a little bit more. Then I'm going to use cilantro leaf, about 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to use half a cup of green peas. Now I'm going to saute this for 5 minutes, and then you can add to it a cup of water. So as you see, the potatoes and the peas are really cooking and they are drying up. So when they're a little bit sauteed, to that I'm going to add 1 cup of water, and then I will cover it and then let it cook until the potatoes are all totally cooked. We don't want to make a mashed potato, but we do want to make sure that the potatoes are cooked. So I'm going to put the heat low and I'll cook the potatoes covered. So as you see, our potato and green peas curry is ready, and I put little bit cilantro in it. At the end you can check the spices like the pepper and the salt. And that's it. It is very simple, very basic, yet extremely tasty, and you can eat this one with bread or brown rice, or you can just have it on the side of the salad. So it's really tasty, and I'm going to give a picture. So this is our hot and yummy potato curry